Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Heatwave. You can see him there in front of his box. We'll put him off the side real quick and take a look at that box. Yes, this is a, well, Age of the Primes Voyager box. You can see I got Heatwave's artwork right there. Nice bit of in truck mode and robot mode there. You got Transformers Age of the Primes Rescue Bot Heatwave, because yeah, he's from Rescue Bots, and 29 steps in the window right there. You got Rescue Bot Heatwave and Takara Tomy there. And you got, hey, there's Heatwave and his robot mode there. And then, of course, on this side, you have, say, some Primes statues right there in Voyager class, all that stuff. On the bottom you have some manufacturing information, what's included, and on the back, of course, you have product shots and copyrights and warnings, and there you go. And the instructions are also pretty solid overall. I think there's there's one spot that kind of tripped me up a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. I think it was, yeah, it's just mostly kind of memory was not doing so well. It's like, it's been a minute since I messed with this mold in general, because, you know, yeah. Looking at it, you go kind of realize very quickly that, hey, this looks a lot like a Legacy Bulkhead, and because it is the same mold. But yeah, you got, looking in closer, you guys, kind of the very friendly, kind of, I guess, friendly looking fireman, with the fireman hat and with the little bit of yellow brim and everything. You can see light piping stuff, although we don't think it works super great. It works okay. You guys, of course, he's got a big old fire truck chest, barrel chest, right, this big old boxy barrel, chest right there. You got reds and grays and silvers going all the way down. You got black tires right there, some grays and silvers and reds and all that stuff, and darker grays right there. Some more in the back right here, and yeah, you kind of, yeah, that's Heatwave here. Yeah, coming in, yeah, getting it back out, yeah. So out of the box, you do have to affix, this bit right here. This is his backpack. He's supposed to have a ladder in the back. So yeah, flip this peg out and just peg it in right here. Peg it in right here on the back, like that. And there you go. There's his backpack. He's supposed to have that. But yeah, it's Legacy Bulkhead. They made some adjustments, but yeah. Yeah, one thing is his head does look a little small and it's kind of really sunken in there, but I think that's kind of the just result of how he's supposed to look. I did have to look at pictures of the toys and the screenshots from the show, and yeah, it generally looks like Heatwave, although there's definitely some liberties had to be taken just because of the nature of things. Like in the toy, these were his fists right here. These side bits were his fists, so that liberty had to be taken. In the show, they cheated a lot in the show when he transformed, so yeah, it's just liberties had to be taken because of just reality. Could they have made these some way that would shrink away? Sure, but that probably would have cranked the parts count like crazy to make these go away, and yeah, also would have made it more obvious he's kind of hollow. But yeah, I think he looks good. I don't have nostalgia for Rescue Bots because that's kind of. It came out when I was well past the age for a Rescue Bots viewer, so yeah, well past, and since this is made for 4-year-olds, I have no interest in watching it. But posability, he does have, head can go left and right, up and down, waggle a little bit because it's on the ball joint. You got rotation here, it's a little stiff right there. You got outward right there, but it's also a little stiff. Also got a weird splotch of extra red or some weird splotch right here on the shoulder. I don't know what that is. It's just really stiff for some reason. Yeah, you got a bicep swivel, which is a little tight. You got, yeah, this elbow joint, which is also really stiff on mine. I don't know why. Could bend that far though, but it's really stiff and has 2 points where it wants to stop. You got a wrist swivel right there. You got a waist swivel right there, unhindered. Hips can go forward about that far and back that far, and outward they go, well, about that far. You do have thigh swivel right there. Knees can bend a little over 90 degrees, and down here at the feet you do have ankle tilts and a smidge of forward and back, and the heel can also collapse if you need that for whatever reason. So, and also I guess the toe can too, depending on how you do things. So there you go. Oop, that's one. Yep. Not bad in posability. He also has a couple accessories, namely he has an axe. And I guess it's supposed to be a water gun. Yeah, the axe. Yeah, basically, from what I've seen in the show, this axe and the water gun here can both. They basically kind of came out of his hands, and John. Yeah, but this, that plugs in right there like a just normal axe, and this goes over his hand to kind of simulate the idea that his hand is turned into this. Oh, yeah, this thing, of course, is Last Effect compatible. I guess you gotta find some watercolored ones, but yeah, because I don't think that's correct. Because they're rescue bots, they don't fight, they rescue. And as for storage, these things can both store on the back, if I can get that off. Yeah, so you both have there's a tab right here, and there's little slots right here, and those just, you know, just tab in right there, and right here there's a tab on this one too, and that also just tabs in right there like that. So those can store away if you like on this back, and of course they kind of stick out a lot, so just be mindful of that, but they can store away. Again, just, his head does look kind of tiny. It doesn't help that's sunken in so far that it looks even tinier. But yeah, as for some comparisons, here he is with, well, actually, is the mold he's based on. Here's the Legacy. Well, this is actually the later release, but you know, it's Legacy bulkhead. You can see he actually made quite a few changes. The shoulders are different, the chest is different, the head is different. Actually, even the thighs are different. Yeah, the thighs are different. Yeah, the feet and shins are the same. But yeah, different backpacks entirely. But these are bits of the same on the backs. But yeah, they actually did quite a few changes. It's kind of surprising how many changes they made for this guy. But yeah, there you go. Left front. And of course, here he is with Rescue Bot Chase. Because why not? Kind of weird. Again, we're at the point Rescue Bots is now old enough that they're now able to, well, put Rescue Bots in generations, and the kids who watch Rescue Bots are now old enough to play with them. It's weird. Anyway, yeah, actually pretty solid movement mode overall. He's kind of pleasant. He's kind of weird because he's a Generations toy, but he still has a bit of that how should I put it? He still has that weird, almost play school quality, which in this case you want it to look like a play school toy, you know? So, yeah, he's pretty solid. But transformation is also pretty much the same as bulkheads. Yeah, I'm going to remove the weapons from here. And you also got to remove, that's I'm a little afraid. This is a little tight. I'm a little worried about the tab snapping. We also got to remove the ladder. That ladder does have to remove, so you got a parts for him. Remove the ladder and close that peg up, and then put it off to the side for now. We'll come back to it later. Now, right here, what you want to do is go ahead and lift this up right here, like that. Just get that out of the way. And you want to untab this right here, or actually untab the shoulders right there. And they're very stiff compared to some of the older versions of the mold I've had. Very stiff, yeah. You untab the shoulders and then lift this, lift this up and back like that. And also lift this away, like there we go. Lift this away like that, so it all looks like that. Then you go ahead and take the head here and just collapse that in like this, like that. And then take this little panel right here, take this and bring this up, and this will go up all the way. So it's a nice little solid roof, like so. Right here, you go ahead and then see that you can see they rotate back here. You rotate these down like this. Yeah, rotate the arms down. Make sure you re-straighten the shoulders back out, right there. Rotate the arms down like that, and again, straighten out the shoulder if you can. Yeah, rotate the arms down and they'll tab together right there. It's supposed to. Come on, tab together. Yeah, it's very stubborn. There you go. Tab together and also bring them forward like so, and then rotate the elbows up like that. And then you can go ahead and bring, make sure they're all the way like that. Then bring this down like so over top, like this. Make sure there's no weirdness. Yeah, bring the top over top like that. And then right here, you bring this down. This will close up right that little gap right there. So then right here, what you want to do is take this piece and bring this up like that, and then untap this and bring that forward like so. So you can sit like this. And then right here, what you want to do, come down here, fold the heels up into the toes like that. Open this panel up right here, bring up the gas tank, right this, rotate it around like there, and then bring it down and close that back up. Make sure it closed up all the way. Then same thing, open that up, bring out the gas panel, gas tank, rotate that around, bring it down like that, and then close up this panel right there. And go ahead and tab the legs together, like so. And also, right here, what you want to do is fold up, and you want to fold, bend the knees like that. And then of course there's little, you can see that, like the little slots right here. Tab the gas tanks into those slots like that. Make sure these stay tabbed together. And then I'm going to go ahead and then bring this all the way down like that, and then this will come up and right here, yeah, move these forward at the hips, and then this right here, these little tabs right here will go into those little slots right here in the back, like that. And then you go bring these further down, and these tabs right here will go into little slots. You can see those little slots right there. Those tabs are in the front. Go into those, like that, like that. Make sure it's all, you know, firmly pressed together, like that. Then right here, what you want to do is go ahead and start bringing the feet up, but then also you take the ladder here. This is really interesting. You take the ladder here, these little, see these little notches in the front? They go over these little tabs right here on the backs of the legs, like that. At an angle too, so it's got to be an angle like that. And then the feet you bring up, and these little tabs right here will go into the little, you know, inside this little thing right here, and these will tab in the back of the thing too. And these will also feed. You can see the toes will feed into the little notch right here too. So you got to do all that like there. And, yeah, tabbing those in and everything. And make sure this stays tabbed in and those tabbed in, and they'll all sit nicely right there. And then this will come over now. This little tab right here will go over that slot, into that slot right there. And there you go. There's Heatwave in his vehicle mode. And yeah, we get to the alt mode and it's kind of like, well, yeah, we're kind of at the, yeah, the remolding process wasn't quite good enough, I feel, because, yeah, the back half in particular the front half looks great. The back half kind of feels a little unfinished. I mean, the ladder's just kind of sitting there over a bed of, like, you know, diamond plating, and, like, they really should have remolded this a bit to make it look more like a fire truck. Like, I would say, like, I don't know, like an extra panel. And get rid of all this detailing in all these peg holes, instead, you know, adding like a panel that kind of comes up or something, because even there's the slots for the bed for the bulkhead has, and like have an extra panel comes up, looks a little more like, you know, with like fire engine details or something. And as it stands, like upgrade, I feel like an upgrade kit can use this slot and this, like, a kind of like add a panel here to make it look a little better, or maybe let's say use a peg hole to have something drape over top, like, well, actually the original, well, the Legacy bulkhead mold did originally. But yeah, it's just like, it feels like it's a little unfinished back here, just because, yeah, it's just kind of a ladder sitting on top of a truck bed, it looks like, which is like, I guess technically at this point you're a fire truck. So, and also, of course, you still got the feet just chilling out right here. But the front end looks great. Yeah, the front basically looks great, but yeah, it's then just like, oh dear. Yeah, kind of limitation of using this mold for the Heatwave here, but yeah, I guess I kind of appreciate the effort, but I'm a little disappointed in the end that, you know, it didn't quite work. I guess it doesn't quite work, honestly. And also in mind, these wheels have a lot of friction on them, like a lot of friction. So you can see it's just sliding. It's not rolling. It's just sliding. These are kind of rolling right here. You can see some of those rolling on this side, but yeah, this is not. There's just so much friction here that they don't like to roll, which is unfortunate, because you can see they're supposed to roll, but there's so much friction that it's not hooking up on the surface. And again, for storage, it's the same as before. You know, the same tabs and slots as before with the robot mode for the weapons. So, you know, just peg them in right here, you know, like this, and look a little weird, but, you know. Like, you know, again, I kind of appreciate they tried, but I feel like there could have been more done to make this work better as a fire truck. Heck, I'm surprised they just use the Earthrise grapple Inferno mold again. You know, surprised they just use that and just, you know, adjust the look and make it. Hey, look, here it is. It's Heatwave now. I think it would have probably gone over better, but, you know, I guess this is what we got instead. So hey. It's not horrible, but yeah, I feel like it could have done a bit better. But yeah, again, comparison stuff. Again, here's Legacy Bulkhead, or the Wreck and Rule Collection, or whatever they called that one. Yeah. Again, you can see how much better he generally wears this, I feel, even with the feet back here. Like, just because this canopy comes down, it wears it better comparatively. You can see that. Yeah, and also, as far as I can tell, well, actually, I think this theoretically still works. Yeah, it's the same part. Yeah, it's the same part, so this theoretically should still work. It's gonna be weird, but it should theoretically work. Oh, that looks weird as heck, but it works. Oh yeah, that looks weird, but it works. So, Yay. It's something. That's something to work with, yeah, for any sort of upgrade kit would, yeah, to figure out. And because of that, yeah, again, you can put this ladder on top of, yeah, you can, instead of this peg here, you can have a peg hole and the ladder can sit on top of it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You're going to have to do something to make it work, I guess, a bit better. As a fire truck. Yeah, you can do something to make it work better as a fire truck, but yeah, it's just still like a... It's not ideal. There you go. And of course, here he is with Chase. His other rescue bot so far in Generations. Which, yeah, actually this size is actually, I think, would be pretty close to in scale. So hey, there's that. Hooray on that front. So, yeah, not bad. Chase is, I think Chase, because he's at least original mold, it works better overall than Heatwave does, but you know, there you go. Yeah, that's Heatwave. I think the robot mode is solid. Again, I actually like the Legacy Bulkhead toy, even if it's not, you know, accurate to Prime. I still generally like the toy itself. So yeah, the robot mode I think is pretty solid. It's not quite screen accurate, but the screen accuracy would be really difficult to pull off without some chicanery and you know, a lot of extra added cost, I feel. The transformation is, you know, pretty much the same as Bulkhead, which it works pretty well. It's actually got some clever bits, but then you get to the vehicle mode and it feels like, oh, they didn't quite nail it, in the sense of like, it really does feel like the front half's a fire truck and the back half's like just, you know, a normal truck. And they really could have done, I feel like they could have done more to, I feel like they could have definitely done more to make it changes to make it more fire truck like. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see if there's any sort of upgrade kit down the line that fixes some of these issues. That issue. I think the only thing that really bugs me about it, honestly, is just simply the vault mode doesn't really look like a fire truck so much. The other thing, for me, for whatever reason, some of his arm joints are absurdly tight. So I don't know what that's going on with that. And some people might be bothered because the head might be still look a little small and sunken in because of how it's molded. So there you go. I think it's still a pretty decent effort, but I think they could have done a bit better on this. So it's a bit of a wash, especially if, you know, it's Voyager class at $35 at this point. So yeah, it's kind of like one of those kind of mixed bag. Again, mixed bag. I think the robot mode is great, but the alt mode is lacking. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media. It's down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Coffee Man Patreon. I shall see you next time with another video review.